I feel proud to be in the mining industry, to be able to produce this copper and zinc and all the other metals necessary to make the world, work every day. I was born in a small town in the interior of British Columbia, Canada called Kelowna. When I was 5, I moved to an even smaller town called Revelstoke, BC, and I spent my entire youth at Revelstoke. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to expand my horizons outside of Revelstoke. I attended Simon Fraser University. I studied accounting and finance, then went on to Price Waterhouse and began my accounting career. One of my clients at Price Waterhouse hired me as a controller for a mining company called Crystal X, and they were heavily focused in Venezuela, with also some exploration projects in Brazil. And I really enjoyed the excitement of the mining business and the drill holes and all the stuff that goes along with mining, and it just captured me. And I knew at that point I wasn't going to go back to being an accountant. Crystal X decided to get completely focused in Venezuela and offered me a spin-off company that would have the Brazilian exploration property. We had a little discussion around the office on what to call the mining company, and Capstone really came up because it's the top stone of a structure. It's the capstone. And we've always strived at Capstone to be leading our peers as the best managed, best well-run company within our peer group. And so we thought that name would suit us. We went into Mexico. A mining family called Grupo Basis sold us the Cozamin Mine. Cozamin was a past-producing lead, zinc, silver mine. And we really drilled below the old workings and found a phenomenal copper deposit. We were looking for more silver and gold, and we found copper. At that time, copper was below $1 per pound, and there wasn't a lot of interest in copper. We couldn't sell the project to a major mining company. We were forced to turn ourselves from an exploration company into a production company by rehabilitating the old mine, expanding the plant, and just becoming a copper producer. And at that time, the Chinese boom was taking off, and copper quickly went from below $1 to post $4 copper. So it was a tremendous ride, and we expanded the mine along the way. So it was a very good story. The Yukon is a great place. They understand mining, they welcome mining. There's a lot of gold and base metals there. And we merged with a company called Sherwood Copper that currently had just finished building the Minto mine up in the Yukon. We had a partnership with the local First Nations that owned the land, so we had a very, very good and open working relationship with them. We provided training to their people, and they provided labor, and so it was a very good two-way working relationship. We've essentially mined out most of the mine, and we've sold the mine to a smaller group, but it was a great 10-year experience up in the Yukon. We had the Korean government approach us, and they wanted to do a joint venture so they could source some copper. We went together and purchased a company called Far West Mining that had a project called Santo Domingo, which is a large copper iron project in Chile. They provide the financial backing and the capital, and we provide the training and the learning of how a mining company works. The Korean venture put a lot of additional capital onto our balance sheet. That allowed us to go ahead and purchase the Pinto Valley Mine here in Arizona from BHP. I remember when I first got on the ground there, and I asked an operator, what the procedure was to change a light bulb in a truck. By the time he walked me through it all, it was going to take 2 hours to change that light bulb under the BHP system, which, again, probably works well at mines like Escondida and these large ones. But for something like Pinto Valley, it was a very small non-core asset for BHP, and it became the largest asset for Capstone. So we can now change a headlight in 2 minutes. And so those are the types of systems that we right-sized for Capstone, and I think allowed the mine much more flexibility, and we'd be able to lower the costs substantially by taking a lot of those larger systems that work for a larger mining company out of the business and allow it to run more nimbly and successfully in a smaller company. The Mining Foundation of the Southwest, their number one objective is to provide awareness and provide information about mining to students, and they go directly into the classrooms. They go directly to the youth, and give them materials and teach them and answer questions about mining. So they're making sure that they get the message clear, because they don't train the teachers, they go directly to the students to make sure that they're getting the information correctly. And I find that a really effective way so that when a student grows up and goes through their schooling, they'll have mining as top of mind in a state of Arizona where so much mining goes on. So I'm honored to be part of their family and inducted into their Hall of Fame. And also, I hope that all the employees of Capstone can take a little gratitude and understand that each and every one of them is part of this great honor that I'm accepting on behalf of them.